everyone, it's me Laura from the Papered Soul. Welcome back to my channel. I am recording episode 5 in my sunflower series of Make a Journal with Me. I am using this beautiful sunflower kit from Artie Mays. It's Sunflower Bloom is the name of it, and I'm also using the add-on kit as well. And my other one was a little long, but I think y'all are all right to deal with it. It was like about an hour long. I didn't expect it to go that long, but I know when we're making journals, we get involved and things always take a little longer than we think. So I really am trying to record, you know, everything that I'm doing and how I do it from start to finish of making a journal and how I approach it. I will have links below to my shop, The Papered Soul. On Etsy is a craft and journal supply shop. And I will also have the link for Artie Mays and her shop so that if you want to go grab this kit and make a journal yourself, you're not going to be disappointed. It is a gorgeous kit. Okay, so it's so funny. I'm really going to try to stick to my notes because while, like I say, this is the same day that I'm recording episode 4 and 5, and I meant to cut this at the end of the other episode, but it's okay because it all runs together. At the beginning of that episode, I had glued this piece of paper, it's one of her beautiful printouts, to a back of a piece of coffee dye paper. And then what I'm gonna do is make journal cards out of it. So that's what I was gonna go ahead and do, and I am gonna try to follow along. I took notes so I don't forget my place and where I am because I wanna keep it organized. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and cut this because it's dry now to make some fun little journal cards. It was actually a piece of paper that I had, was testing the sizing of my journal because I had shrunk this down. And I was just testing it and seeing what it would look like and everything. And so I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm going to go and cut that, trim that out for you. So let's do that. And today is Saturday. We had some rain a while ago in the previous one. It's still cloudy outside though. But it's good to... A rainy day is always, or a cloudy day is always a cozy day for crafting, for me anyway. And I just wanted to do like another episode while I could back to back, simply because I just definitely want to get this journal done. I'm not, again, trying to rush. I'm just trying to stay consistent and get it done, not waste time. But sometimes what I'll do, if I have an extra piece of paper printed off, I will make a decision to make journal cards and other kinds of elements and stuff out of them, and I really like to do that out of the paper. So there's 2 right there. And cut this one. And then 2 more here. So I took that piece of paper and now I have some options and different things that I can actually do with these. I could, let's see, how was it? Let's see, was it? I don't remember now. Was it down like that? And that's how it was. Anyway, what I can do now, though, is I can do different things. This one has the date already on it in her beautiful design. And I could just ink them and sew around them and just tuck them anywhere. Another thing I could do is add some other elements to it. I'm going to think on it and just kind of see what I might want to do there. I'm going to go on and ink these so that I'll have them done. You know, I'm going to sew my elements, and I do that all at one time. Once I get everything made, I just carry my entire journal to the sewing deck, sewing table, and then I just kind of go at it and page by page, and then I tuck them back where they're supposed to be. I just flip the page and sew it and tuck it back. So You don't have to sew. I do like to do that because I feel like it also just secures, if there's areas that the glue didn't get completely on it, you know, then I just feel like it's making it more secure. But I also love the look of it. Not everybody does, but that's all right. It's a personal preference. And anything you want to do in journal making is okay and works, and that's what I love about it, is you can just do anything you want to do. I think I will do the backs of these too. And I'm doing this, you know, not to bore you with the inking, but the inking adds dimension. It gets the white off of it. It makes the edges look more finished. And I am using, yeah, the Vintage Photo, Tim Holtz. And like I say, it's not that I'm trying to like belabor the inking or anything like that, but I want you to know that's what's involved. I mean, it's you know, and many of you already know this because you've made journals, but for those of you that maybe haven't delved into it yet and are wanting to, of course, anybody can do as much or as little as you want, but I wanted you to see, you know, all of what I do when I make my journals. And you can use the things that you like that I do, or you can, you know, say, well, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to waste my time with that, or it's totally your choice, you know. But I just wanted to show you how I do it. And let me get this last one. That one might need a little trimming. Just a smidgy. So it's just kind of fun to just make some elements so that, you know, yourself, that you can do some different things with. I could always put something on the back of them or whatever. So I'm going to save those for another episode, and we'll just see if I can create something fun with those. So that was one thing that I wanted to do. The other thing I wanted to do is I have decided that where I'm gonna put another pocket. So I just kind of flip through my journal at all times and start tucking things inside of it, like, okay, I think I want that there. Like, for example, I've got this doily here, and that's the way it was before. And I just thought, although I love this together, this green and this page together, I just thought it needed maybe a little brightening and something to kind of just break it up a little bit. So that's kind of what I was going to do, is insert that. So we'll work with that in a minute. So here I have a little note to myself, and I talk about this in my earlier episodes. I'm going to maybe do a little overlay element there. So it's just when I flip through and I get an idea for a page, I take my little Post-it notes, I've talked about that before, cut them up, and then write down what my thinking is. Sometimes I change my mind, just depends. I have decided that I want to make a pocket out of this, and if you've seen my earlier episodes, let me get another piece of paper. But my earlier episodes, I want to get a page that I don't, like just a piece of paper that, because I use my coffee dye papers all throughout by backing things and everything, but I just wanted to get one that, because sometimes I'm real particular about my pages, and I'll be like, I might want a certain page, it might have a neat little look to it from the coffee dye that I'll definitely want as a journal page. And then I'll use other ones that are just kind of, it's all right, you know, for backing pockets and stuff like that. So I did decide that I wanted a pocket on this side of the journal, and this is the one that I want to make a pocket out of, and so I'm going to glue it, the whole flap, and then I will put this paper, glue this paper to the back of it so that it'll be a nice sturdy pocket. And I just get that flush and fold it over. And I just wanted to go in and get that down and have that be drying while we're working on the rest of it. So I'm going to come in and cut around that. So I'm really tickled to get to record another episode for you today. I've been wanting to do more than just one episode a day, but the way it's been panning out, I've only been able to get one done a day. And I definitely kind of wanted to get a little more done, especially since it's the weekend and things have kind of slowed down a little bit. So I'm glad to be able to do that. Okay, so put that like that. Yeah. And then this goes here. So there you are. So once that's dry, I will edge punch that and then we'll get that prepped. While I'm thinking about pockets, I had another pocket on this side that I had already glued down a piece of paper underneath it. So this one is ready to be edge punched. So let's do that. And I'm probably going to want to use my small one again because it's not that big of a pocket anyway. And so it'll just put a pretty little scalloped edge on it. So you can see how I pull things out of my journal. It just makes it easier to work with. And get that punched. Alrighty, and I will probably put a little bit of ink on that, just that little edge, before I glue it down. Okay, and I don't know why I keep getting this one mixed up, but I do. This piece I really got mixed up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that one like that. Yeah. Now I'm going to glue that. I might put a little inking there and inking there. And so I'm just going to glue the ends. So we'll have us a nice little pocket. And then I just flip that over and press that down. And of course you could always just take it out of the book and press it better like that. I love that paper. It's just so fun and bright and cheery. I just love it. I will say a while ago that I ended up flipping this page around. I had it like that, and I didn't have that attached to it, but I had it like that. But then when I was looking back here, I didn't really like these two together, and so I flipped it. That looks good with that, and that looks good with that, and so that works. So that worked out better for me. And then I left that. These were the only two pages that were printed out from her kit that I kind of kept side by side. All right, let me take a look at my notes and see what I need to do next, because I don't want to miss anything. So we already talked about my journal cards and different little things. I'm gonna come up with some ideas on what we can do with those. And I punched my pocket. And the tag for the pocket is one I made in the last episode. And it's one, if you'll take a peek at it, I used some fun paper from a planner that an old planner that I had never used. And so I put calendar paper on the back of it. So I thought that was a good use of those fun papers to do. I also, in that last episode, I made a little booklet where I used the calendar pages as well, and they have some color to them. And what you could do if you wanted to make this one interesting, I could do different things. It's a little white. It doesn't matter. You could leave it that way, or I could put a little bit of color on it. I could put a little yellow on it. Like a little stenciling. Just kind of subtle maybe. Real subtle. Let's do it. Let's see. I usually operate with 2 of these, you know, my little inkers. And this one I'll keep on all the time because it's the brown one, the vintage photo, and I use that all the time. So I keep that one on all the time, and then I have one that I just pull off and switch my little sponges with, my daubers. So this one I'm using is Wild Honey, and it has a nice vibrancy to it. So I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do on this is be real light with it because I don't want it to be too dark. I just want it to be subtle, and I am going to use the little flower design. So let's just be real. Let's see. Yeah, I can go a little darker. Yeah. Nice. And then I may come down and just do this one. Like I say, you can leave it white or plain and not put anything with it or on it like this. And it's just whatever you want to do. I kind of like to pop in a little color just to give it some interest. This might need a little something right there. Let me put this over here. This little stencil, I don't know the name of it. It's a Tim Holtz stencil. I did give the model or item number earlier in one of my earlier episodes. But that right there just kind of reminded me of the middle of a sunflower a little bit. So that's why I like it. But I love the flower look to this stencil anyway. So, you know, I'm going to sew that, but that one is ready to go. So I'm going to tuck that into my pocket. Alright, and then let me see what the next thing was that I wanted to do. I was going to make a ticket tuck. And I will tell you what I've got planned for this, but I'm probably going to do it I'm still making my decision. But because these 2 pages are, and I do print out on presentation paper, but because they have prints on them, they're a little harder to kind of separate sometimes. They're not hard to separate, it's just sometimes it'll seem like one page. So I thought I might put a little butterfly tab on the front and back of this one with her little butterflies in her kit. So and that way you can just lift that little wing up, and that'll be easier just to get those pages apart. So I may be doing that. But this is what I was going to kind of work on for this little spread right here. So, so that's a beautiful image right there, and I thought these little tickets, I thought I would keep them together, and I'm going to ink that center. There's a couple of things or many things you can do with this, but, you know, you could fold that and make a little booklet, and you keep them together, or you could take them apart and have separate journal cards, which would be cute too. I was thinking what I would do is wrap it around. I'm going to go ahead and fold it. I was thinking what I would do is wrap it around the page. Both of these pages, I mean, each side of the page. And I thought about maybe having it down here. I could either paper clip it on and still be able to open this up and journal with it, which is what I may think I am gonna do. Or you could just attach it and have it as a tuck. And I did want to, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna put this one in here, and I'm gonna put something else in there too. So let me prep these. I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I think I am gonna go ahead and just back it. So I'm gonna go and glue it to my paper. And that way you'll be able to open it up and you'll be able to journal on it if you want to. So that's what we're gonna do there. But all kinds of things you can do with these elements. It's just kind of like I say, the hardest part is making the decision of how you wanna work it, you know. And that's the hard time I have with it, but hopefully I'm getting better, but you know, I still have my times. And I like that side color better, so I'm gonna go in and glue it to this side. And then we'll cut that out. And I'll very well may sew around this element too. So now I'll just cut around it. Sometimes you can wait a little bit more for the glue to dry. I want to do that. And then seemed like there was something else. Let's see, what was I going to put right here? Oh, I know what I was going to put right here. In that tuck, I was thinking, you know, I did my quotes, and so I'm going to retype this. That's why I printed it out on regular copy paper, because, and I hadn't done my coffee paper yet, because I test them out and that's a little too wide for the page. So I'm going to retype that, and I think that would be a good spot to tuck in a little poem with that. So that's what my plans are for that. And that's where I'm going with it. And when you have these little ticket edges, I just kind of like go in and then pull out as I cut. And that just kind of helps me fussy cut around those little edges, and I can still keep kind of the little rough edge look. But I hope everybody is having a good weekend so far. This week flew by. They all fly by, but some of them scoot by even faster than anyone can even imagine. It's like I just can't keep up. I thank everybody who have been watching and leaving me comments, and I really, really appreciate that. And I got tickled, I will share. My friend Julie in Texas, hello Julie, and my friend Penny Penelope Pin in Australia. They responded to my little bottles of hope that I talked about, and told me that I needed to get, as I was talking about having all these bottles left over with a little bit of the Fabri-Tac left over. And what ended up happening, they suggested that I just pour them all into one bottle. Well, of course that just makes all the sense in the world, because my journal friends are so smart. But and you know, I think what I had intended all along is when I would have time just to sit down and just craft for fun, which that doesn't, I mean, this is fun, but usually I have a goal that I'm just pushing for, like really working on a journal to get it done and everything like that. I just wanted to like play and do embellishments and stuff like that, and I thought, well, I'll take that time and use those older bottles where, you know, I'm not recording anything and stuff, and just use it up then. But I like their idea a whole lot better. Go ahead and just put them all in, all that glue, and consolidate it in one bottle. So I think I'm gonna do that. I have about 8 or 9 bottles, and I call them bottles of hope, in hopes that I will eventually get all that glue out. Because Fabri-Tac is kind of pricey, and yeah, I don't want that glue to go bad. I also heard you can put a little bit of acetone in it, and that will help kind of loosen it up a little bit, but that it'll still work. So if it gets a little goopy, I think I've tried that before, and it did seem to work pretty good. So if it gets a little goopy, you can eventually loosen that up a little bit with the acetone. So yeah, I'm just fussy cutting around these cute little tickets. They're not little, they're big, and I love that element. That is a neat little element. Just getting around those little edges, those little ticket nubs. Kind of make it still look like a ticket. You might be able to hear my kitty cat. That's Figgy in the background. He's in the bedroom while I'm filming, because he might want to jump up here and get all involved in what I'm doing. And as cute as he is, I don't know how helpful that would be. So let's ink this up. But yeah, feel free to comment. I think this is a good way everybody can learn. You know, there might be you might see me do something and you think, well, for Pete's sakes, why didn't she do it like that? Or this would be so much easier for her if she'd do this, you know. And I think I can learn a lot from you guys as well. I do hope I'm, you know, sharing some things that you might, you know, feel inspired by too. But I think it's good when we all communicate and share things with each other. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold that, because I need to ink that middle so that that white is not there. So I'm going to fold this ticket. That cute. And let me knock that white off of that with my ink. That's better. I like that she puts them close enough that you can do that. I mean, always could have, you know, cut them and then replaced them on the coffee dyed paper closer together, but that worked. They were close enough that that works just fine. Okay, so like I said, you could make a booklet out of this one if you wanted to. That would be cute. You could cut them in half and just keep them as journal cards themselves. I love this size ticket. I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over like that, and right now I'm just going to actually put a paper clip on it. And then I'm going to work on, so see, isn't that pretty? And then I'll have that poem, and I'll get that ready, and I'll tuck that poem down in there. Gonna make a decision. You actually could run a bead of glue here. No, you could run a bead of glue here and a little bit down here, and just use this as a tuck that stays attached to the page, and do the same on the other side, or paper clip it and plan to take it off, and that's just an extra journal space for someone. On the other side, I want to do this little card here. I thought that was pretty. And then the other thing I wanted to put was some of this pretty pattern paper, because this has some blue in it right here. I love that little card. That is so pretty. And it's got that blue. And so I could do one of two things. I could make a little journal. I could actually put that on there. That's pretty. Or I could actually, you know, have that as a journal card and then just cut up some paper and tuck it behind there. And since I'm not really sure what I want to do with that yet, I think what I will do is my handy little trick of jotting that down. Because another thing I could do if I decided to back this on here is I could make a pocket out of that. So I got to make a decision. I thought I had that decision made, but now I've already changed my mind. So I'm just going to write card onto blue paper or by itself. So I got to make that decision. And y'all, this is really my process. I mean, I really do go through this, and and since I don't know, I'm not going to back that one yet in case I decide to put it on the back of that. But I do want these elements together on that page because I think that orange and that blue is so pretty together that I know that I want to do that. All right, so let's see what my next thing is. Card. Oh, my doily. I know I was showing you. Oh, I also was going to do these. Let me do that since I came to it. So I was going to decide where I want this pocket. And you remember, I made this in my last episode. I still have to sew the elements, so I've not glued it down yet because I still want to sew around them. But this extra little journaling spot here, and that's going to be tucked right in there just for something pretty. So probably, if that will fit, that might not fit. It's not going to fit. I mean, I could make it fit if I kept the whole pocket expanded out like that. I could make it fit. If I decided to tuck that in there. Yeah, I could do that. So you could do that with Andrea's pockets. You could leave these flaps out, and that buys you a little extra pocket space. Or you can fold them in, and I had thought I would fold that one in, but I'm gonna keep that one out. And I do believe. See which pocket should I do? Which one do I like the best? This one, that's picking up on that over there, or just that one. Well, they're both pretty, aren't they? I'll go on and do that one. And since I'm going to leave the pockets out, or the little flaps out, I should say, I will just glue the whole thing and back it. Because you know I like to back everything, and the reason I like to back everything is because I like it to be sturdy. I don't want this little piece of paper just to be your pocket, because you may rip it very easily pulling things in and out. So I'm just going to roughly trim this out like that, and then what I'm going to do is get my little piece of paper that I'm gluing things on. Let's see. Will that fit? Yeah. Clean my space up, and let me glue this on here. I'm just going to glue it all over. Like I say, I may sew around this pocket before I attach it into the journal. I usually do that with most things, so my little kitty is really crying. And while that is drying, the other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to glue my doily. Now, what I did, I added that doily. Let me put this over here. Cut that out in a minute. But I kind of put that doily in there. And there's two of them. I sell these in my shop, and sometimes I like it, well, that's just me. I like it to be a little bit thicker because they're fragile. And so I think I got two here. I do. And so what I thought I would do, we could try glue stick. I may do, in the middle, I might just do a little bit of this real light because I don't want it to show through. But I may just put a little bit of this to the center because all I did so far is just folded them. And so I'll just, fold that back like that, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. That way it keeps it in place where it's supposed to be. So just a little bit of Fabri-Tac, very little, because I don't want it to show through, and just enough to kind of secure that pretty well together, both of them. And then, because that could get gloppy with the lace, the laciness of this doily, I thought I might run a little glue stick along the edge on that. Now, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And that might just make that a little bit easier. I don't know, we'll see. I'll pull that apart because it's not ready yet. But yeah, I'll just mark a little of that around, put my hand under it, and then do that. I'll just take this out. I don't know why I always end up working in the book when really I could take it out and make it a whole lot easier. I'm making it hard. And it's a little tacky, even though I did it real light. But just a very small bit, just enough for it to stick and stay together. And it's getting all over my board. Ooh, I need some. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry because I didn't expect it to get that sticky. I don't use glue stick that much. I usually use my Fabri-Tac and everything, but the I probably need to wipe that off. I guess I can take it off right now. I don't really need it. I kind of use it as a center piece, and I'll wipe that up later, but I don't want glue getting on my book. It's not a glue book. Okay, so then I did my doily, and we're letting that dry, and then we'll go back to the we're gonna go back to the sunflower pocket here. The other thing that I had thought of doing, and see, this is really how I do. As I flip pages, I look and I think, what do I want on this page? And earlier I was looking at this, and I may do some sort of mini little envelope here, and I might do some little flowers coming out of the pocket. So that's what I'm thinking. This has some kind of a gray blue on it around to emulate the sky, and I thought that would be complimentary for that. So really wanting to use that piece. I haven't cut into that yet, and I want to keep this as a flip. Since I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and stencil this with some of the green bough, evergreen bough. And I think that'll be pretty kind of in the background. So let's do that. My little cat. He's just crying away. He wants to come out. He wants to come out and play. And I will let him do that after we get our journaling done. So a little there, and let's do a flower here. And how about, do this. Yeah. And then I'll come up on this. And I do the whole flap and everything because I just enjoy some good old stenciling. And I'm gonna raise that. Let's see, that's like that. I'm gonna do this too. Like this is like a little half of a flower right here, and I'm gonna put that. Actually, I'm gonna put that right there on the edge. That, and I might put that same edge up here, kind of. Yeah, kind of in the middle like that. pretty, isn't it? So when you close it, you've got some interest right there. When you open it up, I might need something right here. Oh, let's see. Tell you what I'll do. And then a little something here too. Usually I don't fill it up this much, but I am filling this one up. Put that one down there. But that's fun. And you can journal all over this page. So that's what's nice about that. So bringing this back into frame, then I have this and that, so that'd be ready to go. And then I'll probably figure this envelope out in the next installment and show you how I do that. I may decide to do something different, not sure, but we'll see. So I'm gonna think on that a little bit more, but you know what I am gonna do? Because we've already talked about this and I don't wanna be drawing a blank and thinking, well, what was I gonna do? I'm gonna cut me another little piece off and I'm gonna jot it down that I'm gonna use the blue polka dot paper. And that I'm either gonna do an envelope or something else, maybe like a tuck of some sort, question mark, because I'm still in my thinking of that, okay? So that's the things that I do. Let's see how this doily is doing. Still a little tacky, but you can see that is going to go in there like that, and I've kind of just secured it and made it a little bit thicker. So that'll be really pretty in there. All right, and let's see what else I'm gonna do. Green flowers, I think that might be, oh yeah, I was gonna do my, finish up my pocket. Let's do that, and then I'm probably gonna call this one we'll call it a wrap. It's a wrap. All right, so let's cut that out. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing so, and you can hit the bell and for notifications, and it will notify you whenever I release a new video. So please consider doing that. Love to have you join me on my channel, and I want to definitely want to send a thank you to everyone who has supported me for so long already. Been there with me all along, and I really appreciate everyone's support and kind words and just taking the time to watch. It really means a lot to me because if you're like me, I mean, there's so many videos that I want to watch, and there's just like only so many hours in the day, and I know that all of us, you know, just want to absorb as many journal videos as we can. But like I say, I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, and so if you take the time to look at mine, it just really means a lot to me because there's so many out there, and I just want to say thank you. So that means a lot to me. If you like my videos and you're enjoying this series, I hope you will like it. Just hit the thumbs up. That'll mean a lot to me as well, and always feel free to leave comments of any sort. Let me know what you're working on right now. Just anything. All right, and since like I say, I may do some sewing around this pocket. I might not. I may or may not, and since I'm not sure, I'm going to paper clip this on and then paper clip my other element behind it, okay? And so that will be in my little, and this one, when I pull it out, I'll probably, yeah, I'll have that tucked there so you can see it. So that's what that page is going to be. So I'll just kind of like flip through kind of what I've got so far. It's coming together. And you'll know where I am if you've been keeping up. You'll kind of know what these elements are and what I'm doing with them and what's in the plans. Oh, I will tell you this. I am going to, and I think I'll remember this because I think this is the only flip in the book. on coffee paper, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet an edge on that. And I did do a crochet video of how I do that. I've got one out already, so if you want to take a peek at that, you can. And let me just ask y'all if y'all want to see me crochet this on camera. Let me know. Let me know if you want me to do that or you want me to do that off camera, since I've already done a video doing that. So just let me know. And then, you know, we've backed that and stenciled that, got my pocket going. And I need to put my, think about my butterfly tab on that and my poem there. Make a decision about these papers. And got my pocket ready. Got to figure out something here for sure. So I still have, we've talked about this, did the stenciling, got my doily. Is it dry yet? Still got some tackiness to it, but got my doily there. Then we're getting close to the middle here. So I'll keep flipping through. I got ideas. If I put, oh, I did my pocket, I could probably punch my pocket, edge punch my pocket. You know what, I'll just wait. I'll just wait till next time, but you know that I've prepped it, and then I'm gonna edge punch it just like I did this one. And it'll be really nice and pretty. Or I may decide just to put some lace on it, but we'll just see. So anyway, let me make sure I covered everything and I didn't leave anything out, because last time I did. So we've talked about these guys, my little journal cards that I made out of one of Andrea's pages. And then we did our pocket and we did the ticket tuck. And then we talked about the plans that I have. If I'd not changed my mind, I would have done that other page, but I didn't. I kind of need to think about it a little bit more. And that's okay. I just take my time with stuff, you know, because once it's glued down, it's glued down. So I always want to make sure, yeah, did I mean to do that with that? Yeah, I did, and feel good about it. So that's kind of where I am with it. I did... I'm going to do something with this and make a little trifold kind of thing with that. And so, you know, as I flip through, I'll insert stuff and say, well, I might be clicking along and I might think, you know, at some point I might be like, well, this little coin envelope would be pretty, you know, and figure out something I might want to do there. So that's just how I operate. I flip through what Andrea has in her kit, and then I just start putting it in there. I hope you enjoyed this. This is episode 5, and I hope to be able to get 4 and 5 loaded up today, and maybe be able to pop out another, work on another one tomorrow. I hope so. But anyway, I hope you all have a very good rest of the day, rest of the weekend. We'll be talking to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.